עכשיו אני בטוח עושה, אני יכול גם להוסיף אותו, אבל הוא סגר את המצלמה. עכשיו, יפתח לך פה עוד אחד. ברגע שאני עושה share screen, בוא נראה לך, תראה, אם אני עושה share screen, אתה בא לכרום טאב, ואז פה, סתם, נגיד עכשיו אני אעשה...
כן, ל-new tab למשל. אתה צריך למעשה לעשות לזה.
עכשיו אתה רואה, זה נכנס לפה. ואז אני פותח את השאלה קודם כל, ואז אני עושה, ואז אני, כאילו, ואז יראו את זה פה, אתה מבין? עכשיו אם אני רוצה, אני עושה פשוט רימוב. אני עשיתי לא רימוב. אם אני עושה, אתה רואה? לזה אני צריך לעשות רימוב. אפשר לגרור את זה?
עושה רימוב שנייה.
רימוב ומוריד את זה. זה השאר סקרין, מפה אני מחזיר את זה, אתה מבין? לטאב. לא מסובך, נכון?
לא נראה לי. אתה חושב שאני זוכר איך עושים פליי בזה?
לא, אל תדאג.
אני עכשיו הולך להתאמן.
תתחיל.
Hi, Thomas.
Yana.
Hello.
Hello, Yana. Just a small thing, okay?
Yes.
The video is too long because
I know.
Yeah, the session needs to finish at 7:15, and the pre-recording will finish at 7:17.
Yes, I know. That's why. Thomas, sorry, I will mute you for a second.
So the Q&A should be 10 minutes. Okay.
I will tell you. So the session, the next session starts at 6:30. So that means that we should end at 6:28. The live Q&A. This was confirmed by the client before.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I still have the chat open for one of the previous sessions, and I see that they're asking one of the speakers, what kind of hair gel do you use?
Fine.
Yeah. I'm sure that's an important question to ask.
Of course. I'm sharing the link for to see the questions from the audience. Okay.
Yes, just to let you know that once the other people join, maybe we will need to send it
Yeah,
again.
I will share it again. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
What was the crisis before, or it's personal?
No, it was just the wrong link to
To
StreamYard.
the previous session?
Yes.
Okay. But everything at the end.
Yes. It's all good. Of course, if I'm involved, everything works out fine.
No, I know that, but I have to ask.
לישראלים המילה טרוריסט יש לה קונוטציות עמוקות וכבדות. אפשר היה לקרוא להם פורעי חוק, אפשר היה לקרוא להם עבריינים, אפשר היה לקרוא להם בהרבה שמות אחרים. המילה טרוריסט עבור הציבור הישראלי היא מילה טעונה כבר, והיא מאוד עמוסה. אם הוא היה אומר, צריך להשתמש במודל טרוריסט. רגע, אם הוא היה אומר טרוריסט, רק לערבים וליהודים. לא, לכולם טרוריסטים, היה כולם עבריינים, היה כולם אלימים. טרור זה מעשה יצור, פרעות, תקשיב, היו פה פרעות של ערבים ויהודים ושל יהודים וערבים, זאת לא עבירה מהסוג הרגיל. פרעות מהסוג הזה, זה סוג של טרור. כאשר מדובר בעבריינות לאומנית קשה, זה טרור. אני לא צריכה ללמד אותך, לאורך השנים, במדינתנו השתמשו במילה טרוריסט למשהו מאוד ספציפי, לזה שנכנס, חוטף ילדים, לוקח אותם בני ערובה, לזה שעושה פיגוע, אז הוא לקח, אני חושבת עדיין אני לא מצדיקה את התגובה.
What are you watching?
No, my phone is asking me to update and to reboot. So I'm thinking if to do it now or, Okay. Okay.
ועדת חקירה, תחתית או אחרת, והשר לא התיר לו, וכאשר יש את ההתבטאות הזאת בעקבות האמירה על דברי המפכ"ל אתמול, כאשר והמפכ"ל אומר שהמעצר של המשטרה את היורים בלוד שגרמו למותו של אחד מן הפורעים הערבים, אומר השר שזו טעות גדולה מאוד המעצר הזה.
So how long time before we go live do you think? It's just I want to go and pick something up.
You have plenty of time, but let
We'll go right at 6:17.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
So same as before, you're the moderator, correct?
Exactly, yes.
Perfect, perfect. So I will share now the link to that you can see the questions. Do you see
Wonderful.
and we will go live exactly at 6:17. 6:17.
617.
Hi, Florian.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, Florian.
Hi.
Thomas left us because he has something else to do, but he has enough time to be back.
Okay, perfect.
He was the first to join, actually, 15 minutes even before he had.
Perfect. Very good. So, final presentation for today.
No, there's one more.
After that, really, I was not checking
yes, because Tobias is maybe because you see Tobias and you think it's the last one. He's in both.
Last one ever. So then I'm done. Tomorrow I don't have an active part anymore. So
tomorrow you will just drink coffee and watch sessions. That will be your active part, and submit questions for the speakers. I was laughing before because I still have the chat, the Slido, the chat with the questions for the previous session open because I want to copy them so I can send it to you afterwards. And one of the people from the audience, yes, asked Armin what kind of hair gel he uses.
He's using, for his hair. That was good,
I think that's a good question. I would like to know the answer to that.
So good.
Tobias, maybe they will ask you as well. What hair gel do you use?
Yeah.
Or which toothpaste for the white teeth or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the name of your dentist?
Yeah.
How would you recommend him from 1 to 10? Okay, so
The questions you still have, Jana, right? So I don't have to forward them again, or shall I?
well, which one's the one? Yeah, let me check my just to make sure I'm opening the correct session. Grain shipping and new propulsion. Do you maybe want me to send you, because there are a lot of questions which were asked. I have 17 from the morning.
So okay, yeah. 17 unanswered, or let's say
No, 17 in total.
in total. Yeah, as you prefer. You can. You mean via email then, or?
Yes, I can send
Yeah,
it by email.
You can do. Then I can sort it a bit.
And you can, of course, you can mention that these questions were asked in the morning, but there wasn't enough time to reply in case you don't have enough questions now.
Will we get the questions afterwards also, so we can answer them in writing?
Exactly.
And then, okay.
But Thomas, the writing should not differ to that what you have said verbally.
No. By all means, if it does, please let me know. No, but the questions we
Hi,
don't
everybody.
Hi.
If there's any questions we don't
Hi,
answer,
Peter.
we will answer them subsequently, or?
Peter, where
To
did
be honest,
your shirt go to? Yeah, I was at the bakery, so I wear my other clothes in a second. Give me
Does
just
that make
some
any
more time.
problem, Jana, for the recordings once he's wearing now a different shirt?
Well, usually it will be best if he can wear the same clothes as he did.
So I will
was the
wear the same, but I was not in the recordings, so doesn't matter for me.
Yeah.
But I will wear the same clothes as in the morning session.
So the biggest surprise I had yesterday was Kevin. Wasn't that funny with the red
With the
shirt?
what was he wore a red shirt?
Yeah,
Or-
red.
Shirt and then his suit above.
Okay.
I like the British guys. They are so, let's say, so nice.
So fashionable.
Tobias, I'm sending you for both sessions so you can have.
Yeah, okay. So quickly. Status do not disturb, right?
Best, yes. Status to do not disturb. Not that
So-
something pops up or whatever, or the phone rings.
The reason I'm saying that is because Peter was not aware about this functionality, so we clarified this morning. But then, Peter, you forgot to reset your status.
But I did before you wrote, I believe, or not?
I
really presented then. When you wrote me, I really presented. So I was in another meeting where I presented. But you're right. I forgot for the first few minutes.
Which is no problem at all. The only thing, the surprise will come later.
Yeah.
We will have a very quiet day, and after that.
That's right.
So, case study.
Have we had any feedback from any participants during the day on the morning session, or?
I got one from Australia directly to me in the chat, and it's a very professional, very good, very enthusiastic people. So
Okay.
they can also feel that this is by heart, and we are not telling any whatever story.
That's
so
good.
Positive, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Jana, how many minutes left?
The technician can advise, but let me just check my Excel.
Yeah, let's say the presentation will start in 2 minutes. So
Okay, so we
I
have
guess,
half an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get mixed up because I'm watching the time in my Excel and that I'm watching my watch and it's a different time, and and it's only 1 hour difference. It's not such a big deal.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So the recording will start in 5:45, and then actually we'll go live at around 6:15 because the recording is taking a lot of time, meaning that it's taking the time of the session itself, and the live Q&A should end at 6:28.
Okay, because the time, I'm taking a look to the agenda, tells like 50 seconds left until the presentation starts.
Yeah, that's correct.
But not.
Yes,
we are not online, so this is just a recording. Yeah.
No,
That's
and
the
also,
recording.
Also, there will be there's a waiting
The 5
waiting
minutes
slide.
waiting screen. Then okay.
Exactly, the one with the water.
Waves.
Yes.
I like that one. Brings
Yes, it's really nice.
calm in the room.
Exactly, it's really nice. I like it too.
I have my girlfriend cooking dinner, and now this odor of really, really nice food is coming. I'll try and sort of distance myself from that during the presentation.
We should go for 4D videography next time so that we can smell it. Yeah, what's happening on your side of the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
You can go and grab a quick bite. Come back.
Yeah.
I have been snacking already.
So this is great. What do you get for food? Is this something local or?
My girlfriend is Romanian, so it's Romanian style. So it's very nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm getting hungry.
I lived. I was living in Italy for 1 year, and I haven't eaten basically anything from my country for 6 months, and then there was a youth exchange back at the time, and a Romanian group came, and they were cooking, and I was so happy because the food they cook is really similar to what we have here. Neighboring countries,
Yeah, I remember I've actually been in Bulgaria on the Black Sea coast, and it's very similar to the Romanian cuisine. Really, really nice. But the only problem is that the vegetables and so on, what we get here is, they have sort of became ripe on the journey. But what they have down there is right off the plant. I mean, it's a completely different taste. It's just so much better. But yes.
Yeah, because we still have a lot of people even still growing food locally in villages, especially, and you have all these like you prepare food for winter and so on, so you can always have a taste of, you know, grandma's food, which is the best food. I think that where is your girlfriend from in Romania?
She's from Galat.
Where is this? Like, what part of Romania? Because it's quite a big country.
It's the. I'll find it on a map. Just a moment.
Yeah, because I'm not sure that I can spell that. I'm trying to keep you busy to not think about food. I think Peter went to change his clothes.
Yeah.
But he learned his lesson. He still doesn't have the painting on the wall.
Was there a painting on the wall?
There was a painting on the wall.
What is history?
But it was really funny because Anne made a small comment, and then Jane and you took over, which was great.
Anne wanted to have the painting removed, but you know she's not so direct, so she started asking questions about the painting. Oh, but what is this painting? Okay, yeah.
Is it a naked woman?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, is it a naked woman? Thank you, Thomas. And she started like really far until she got to actually the point, because Peter at one moment he asked, do you want me to remove the painting? She was like, yeah, I didn't really want to tell you, but actually it was really funny. She even told, now we had I was with her with Dr. Daniel. I cannot pronounce his last name. And he has a painting on his background. So she told him the story of of Peter's painting.
I was not quite sure if this was a television or whatever. It looks like a black frame with a black.
It's actually a painting. He said that he bought it from Serbia.
Hello.
But it's actually on the something from the Greek mythology. And he actually said that there is an almost naked woman on that painting, but you cannot see it. It's not so obvious.
Interesting what these guys have hanging in their offices, in their home offices.
Well, with me, I have a picture of Detroit, so not so spectacular.
We have to kill the time somehow. So
I actually have a drywall here in the back that I'm building, so it's not. I don't have the wallpaper on yet, so you can see this. But I think it works still. But I haven't managed to finish it.
But it looks pretty like design fashioned, yeah. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought if you haven't said it.
No, but I needed an extra room, so I cut the upstairs living room in half. So
yeah, sometimes you have to do this.
Yeah. Kids seems to have that effect.
So Thomas, we have been on the other screen already in our live session. Pretty nice.
Yeah, always good to see like a clone or something, you know, like, hey, Tobias, you're talking right now. Why are you here in this session?
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Now is the video running? I really like this video.
But it's really nice that we can still anyway manage to do these things, even though we have the times we have, right? But I must admit, I do really look forward to meeting up in person. And
yeah. This is also something we're going to mention in our thank you email, that we're happy to have this event, but looking forward maybe having the next in person again.
Yeah. Thomas, by the way, how do you think about the technology to maybe present the results of the study there?
I think it's a good idea. We just need to make 100% sure that we are done.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So we need to resource it adequately from both companies' side and then deliver on it. But other than that, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So
I had a meeting today. So because we had big issues with resources, and yeah, we at least try to find a solution, and we can discuss that on Tuesday in detail. But the idea was to cut off some things, like, for example, ammonia engine, and focus on the let's say most important ones, but really do have block us dedicated times and put more priority on this topic. This is the idea right now.
Yeah. I would really like to have a very good piece of work on fuel cells. That would be really nice also. So because that is, radically different from what we're used to today. So it would be super cool to have something really nice there, especially actually around. I'm extremely interested in the methanol angle towards a fuel cell also. So I think that's something to really dive in. Because the thing about the compressed hydrogen solution, I think it's a little bit more niche, where if you can get to the point where you can actually fuel a truck with methanol and have a fuel cell, then you have a much better integration into the hull, and subsequently also much longer range. So I think there's something there that where we could really benefit from a thorough piece of work on that. But it's fine with us to sort of push ammonia a little bit to the background. It's fine. It is ammonia is there's a lot of work to be done on the safety case, in my opinion.
Yeah. Exactly. And one other reason is that we don't do any investigation in ammonia so far, or for sure we look at the fuel, but we don't look at the combustion engine in detail, and therefore it's really hard for us to implement it in the study. So we could make some assumptions. We could read from documents and so on, but it is not a real benefit we can add there. But still, ammonia is quite interesting. But I think it's easier to exclude it from the study and see if there is a need to do a second study or something like that if there really is a need and we really see a demand in future, then we should do
there
that.
could be an angle around if we could reform the ammonia and then fuel a PEM fuel cell with the hydrogen.
Yeah.
There's a potential angle there.
Yeah.
To maybe to have a quick look at.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would imagine that the risk towards the membrane would be less if it's nitrogen than if it's a carbon contamination.
I'm not 100% sure, but I know carbon contamination is really bad. So you might be right. Yeah.
At least that would be an interesting area just to spend a short period of time on, just to assess that part.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand what you were talking about.
The only thing you need to understand is ammonia is poison and is not very healthy, and we do not like to use it.
I've already understood that you don't like to use it, but I didn't understand why. Now I do. Thank you for clarifying.
But it's typical in life that there's some disadvantages and then there's some advantages, so it's always a balance. But I tend to agree that one accident with ammonia and then you are jeopardizing the life of the crew, right? So it's just super important to have that under control, that part of it. And there it's actually not potentially day-to-day operations as such, but it's just as much or even more maintenance situations where people have to take something apart. That's where the risk is greatest.
Absolutely. I'm from the refrigeration business in my prior job, and there they used ammonia as a refrigerant. And I saw really a lot of crazy pictures when the units exploded or something happened during maintenance even, yeah. So the crew needs to be trained very good on that because it's very, very, very hard when something will happen.
So you have a reason to not use ammonia after all.
Yeah.
Quite a good reason.
There are quite good reasons, yeah. But on the other hand, there are quite good reasons to use ammonia. I mean, we want to be CO2 neutral at the end, and ammonia contains no carbon, so would also make sense.
Yeah. And where it also makes sense is that the raw material to produce it is readily available all around the planet. So as soon as you have cheap electricity, you can produce it basically. And so that's another positive of the ammonia. So it's really, really disadvantageous that it's toxic. I mean, it's quite typical by the laws of nature. There's always something.
Yeah, that's the only negative side of it.
Yeah. Florian, a question. Do you know how many people are in the session at the moment? Because Anne told us, or am I wrong? Anne told us this morning. I just wondering if we maybe need our questions, or if we use questions from the morning to be prepared in case no questions come up.
Yes, the stream in the afternoon is not that filled with people like the morning sessions. Yes, so be prepared for questions. I think, Tobias, you are already aligned with Jana. She sent you the ones. And so I think this is not a problem. It looks like that we have right now, when I take a look to around
So I fully
Sec-
trust Jana here. I think you feel if we don't have enough questions, throw it in, as you did last time.
Should we maybe recycle some from this morning? Because I believe
yes.
we had not the chance to cover all of them in the morning session.
I think that's a good idea because I'm not aware which ones were answered and which weren't. So if you're not having enough answers, enough questions to BS, you can maybe just say that you might.
Yeah, also, I can say what kind of questions we had. So we had Roland Schwand. We had Tony Kurz. We had I like the space question. This was quite a good one. Gary Smith. How are the service intervals? Line of service intervals. Yeah, but as I said, Jana, you can start with the predefined ones, which we originally exchanged. And if this is not sufficient, I feel free to pick the one or the other out of this. It's no question.
I maybe just use some which we did not cover and put it in here in this chat.
Yeah.
So this one was not
so then
covered.
We should have
in the morning session.
The ammonia was not covered. So question number 17 from Kyle. Why aren't we not investing more towards ammonia as a fuel? That's what we need to do.
I mean, this is good to talk about.
Then another one was from NG, so that's an internal one, funny, from Asia. With a low power density from fuel cell, in number 11, Jana, and challenge to store H2 on board, how can we manage it in small engine room?
Yes.
That's the one Peter just copied in the chat here.
Yes. I already put that in the chat here.
I think, Peter, when you go into this, then potentially I can also supplement you. But I mean, if you look specifically at a TOG application, you have a beneficial operational profile where you have a lot of low load. So therefore, you don't need the full power from the fuel cell. You'll do sort of a fuel cell dimension adequately in combination with a battery.
Yeah.
In order to deliver the power you need. So there's something around there that we can maybe comment on. So
and actually the power density of the fuel cell is not the problem, I believe. So the power density of the fuel cell itself is quite good. But the energy density of the compressed hydrogen is the issue.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah, exactly. That's where we can sort of also say that we are, of course, looking at this also in combination with liquid fuel alternatives, right?
Yes, exactly, right. Right. Okay. So I did 2 times insert here the same question. I wanted to copy the one from Kyle.
Yeah.
This one.
Guys, do you understand the question number 6 from Gregor Verstralen? ECRT. The ECRT concept by Novatag has proven it can operate a full day on batteries as it used the hull to create line forces rather than the propellers. Is Switzer considering the ECRT to get rid of diesel and fuels altogether? If not, why not? To be honest, no idea what the background from this question is. Do you know what is meant?
I would hate actually to comment on that one if I can avoid it. They're referring to the electric carousel talk.
Then let's put it out. I will make it black.
It's because I don't want to. It's in order To be quite honest, that truck has a capex that is,
Okay.
4 or 5 times what we're used to, or even more, right? But I don't want to say that publicly. I mean, I personally, I don't want to bring any designs in a bad light in any way publicly. I really don't want to, and I think a lot of good engineering has gone into that design. But at the end of the day, we need to, think about the cost, which is also a little bit the message here in what we're looking at here on the new solutions, right? I mean, cost does have an impact, right? So we cannot build a truck that is 5 times more expensive, or so that's why it's a little bit difficult, that one. If we could avoid it, I would love to avoid it.
So I will not bring it in, and Jana, I think this is number 6. You also not, I would say.
Yeah.
The question which I have then here is, afterwards we try to answer everyone the question. Do we find like a non-saying answer to this question anyhow, that no one can come back asking like, hey, what happened to my question?
I would. I mean, I'm sure we can put some words around it in writing, of course, where something around that we are aware that this design exists, and we are always, when we are designing. I mean, that's I can also take it, but then it will be something along the lines of that we are aware that the design exists, and we are also, when we are optimizing our boats, then we are targeting the highest degree of forces with the least effort involved, actually using the hull of the truck to generate hydrodynamic forces. So it's also an optimization process that's ongoing with the existing trucks that we have. So I can say something around that, without going into
not in the live session, but afterwards when we send out the Q&As then to the participants.
Yeah,
that
so
would be
we can put some words around it. But what I just want to emphasize is, I don't want to be negative towards any designs that others have done. I think it's super important, and actually also very appreciated that people are investing time in coming up with such designs. Mm-hmm. But it's just, when we look at it, it is an extremely expensive truck. It really is. It has a void thrusters and very advanced system with the winch and fully electric, and it adds up. But but there's a little bit also the trick that you need to balance everything in a design process, right? So
Can I ask a question?
I think let's do some writing instead on those ones instead of.
Yep, good.
Tobias, do you want me to put in any of the questions from this chat into the other one?
I would recommend.
Which one?
The question number 17. Why are we not investing more towards ammonia as a fuel?
Let me open it. Just give me a second.
And there we should potentially say that. I think
up to you, Thomas. Up to you. You can do that.
I would say that we are. I mean, ammonia cannot be dismissed. It is part of the future fuel mix, and yes, ammonia can be produced anywhere in the world as long as you have cheap electricity. So it is something that the industry will have on its plate to assess. And the industry in general are investing money in ammonia. We have ammonia engines being developed for larger vessels and so on. So it's not like the industry is not looking at it. And then we can then just refer to that there is a significant piece of work to do on the safety case to ensure the safety of the seafarers when introducing such fuels, or a fuel as ammonia, we can say. That's also a fact, facts from physics, So I think we can say something around that. So I actually think the premise around the question is a little bit off because the industry are investing money in ammonia, and ammonia as a fuel is being taken serious. Does that answer the question, you think?
I was about to say I think I'm having a preview of the live Q&A now.
Yeah. I'm running my mouse, I'm sorry.
Okay, I see Jana posted the question.
I'm talking.
How do you know it was me? It says
Must
anonymous.
be you. Well, I can read the code, you know. Like.
So how many are we right now?
9 minutes. In 9 minutes, we will go live.
Okay, 9 minutes.
So, Tobias, I will let you know, and you will count down like the previous session, okay? You can count down from 10 to 0, and then you can start.
I recognize that I was blinking with my eyes. 10, 9, 8. I was asking myself, what the hell I'm doing there?
But Tobias, when you're moderating it, I mean, should we agree that if you see something where it's sort of other companies' designs or something that's being discussed, that we try and not go into that, and then we answer them in writing?
Absolutely, I will take care. Yes.
Florian, do you know how many people we have? Because you have the statistics on your side.
I need to reload.
Because what we're seeing as a tendency is that there are less people in the afternoon than in the morning. I just want to see if this is.
It's 70 live in the session. 70.
I found it funny that you said there's 70 live in the session.
And in the morning it was 150 or something, right? Or something like that.
Oh, even more. 262.
Oh.
262, because the maximum I got was 202, 155, 193, 22. Okay, great.
It's a session. What does power to X mean for you? Yeah, right? No, it's the new propulsion. Then it's 210. Sorry, 210.
Okay.
210 in the morning and 70 now, which is a very good number.
Why do I hear mean right now? Okay, no, now it's not the case anymore. Should we add another question? Because I believe if there are just 70 or just 70 people, we will not get that much questions as in the morning session.
Yeah, then let's stay with fuels. I would say, do you consider methanol as CO2 free?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Number 13, Jana.
Yeah.
Already located it. Just to let you know, when you're not speaking, I would like to ask you to mute yourself because I can hear a bit of a echo.
Background noise.
Yes.
So, Peter, do you consider methanol to be CO2 free?
It depends on the fuel itself. So, I mean, it's a difference between legislation and or from how legislation treats it, and if it is CO2 neutral at the end. So, if it is made out of electricity, so the hydrogen out of electricity and the carbon comes from direct air capture, it is CO2 neutral at the end. But there are other, or methanol is not like methanol. So gray methanol is there, for example. And also, if it is from an, let's say, big carbon source like coal plants, it's hard to answer if it is CO2 neutral or not.
I would say you can start a little bit also saying that the basis for all modern energy, or let's say fuel carriers, is renewable energy sources like wind, like solar. Then go via the Wasserstoff, hydrogen path, and then you can say something about the CO2 then.
Yeah,
just as an idea.
Yeah, so we can say that we could basically say that in order to produce the methanol in an acceptable way, eventually we need to have hydrogen that is created with renewable energy, and then we need a carbon source that is recycled. So that would mean that you have either used direct air capture, or you have captured it from the chimney of a fueled power plant or similar. So you have actually a carbon source that can be considered recycled and renewable in order to do methanol. That would be something like that, I would say, and then say that on the market right now, what is there has typically some form of fossil component, but it's foreseen that in the future that can be solved, something like that.
Yeah, right.
So shall I through the first question, Thomas, to you, and then the second one to you, Peter?
So the one on the methanol to me, or
the ammonia to you, and the
ammonia,
methanol.
Okay, yeah.
Or as you prefer, just as a. Yeah, I think you have.
You can just shoot whatever. I will do my very best.
Ooh, there's a real question in there.
Oh.
The other were also real questions, but not from the session. Yeah. Question to Thomas. Okay.
Oh, main competitor.
Right now, regarding the future strategies. This, yeah. Do you see the question, Thomas?
So the question is, thanks Thomas, for the interesting insight. What are your main competitors doing right now regarding the future strategies? Are all on the same track? I guess you can answer that from a, let's say, common market approach and not talk about competition, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. So instead of diving into the details of a competitor, then
talk about the market.
Yeah, then say that we can see a trend in the market towards low emissions. We see a trend in the market towards low emissions solutions, and also competitors offering hybrid solutions in order to reduce the CO2 emissions. On the complete refueling of trucks, we don't see many projects, but we see them emerging. We have seen, of course, natural gas trucks historically, but now we are seeing, companies looking into ammonia fueled trucks and also methanol fueled trucks. So it is coming. It's ramping up, something like that.
I see we do have just some more minutes, right?
Yes, Ron, can you advise how much time?
Yes, we have 1 minute before we go live.
Okay.
So me and Florian are muting ourselves and stopping our cameras.
Yeah. Maybe we need another question. I believe we just have 3 so far, so we could also use the one which is here in the chat.
Okay, just one more.
Low power density.
Yeah.
Is there another one?
With the molten salt?
Good afternoon. It's molten salt reactor technology.
No worries. Okay.
Yeah.
Tobias has this. Florian, I would just like you to close your camera as well. Yeah. Okay, good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, good luck. Florian, I will let you know when you can start the countdown. Okay? Good luck. Okay, you can start now.
Welcome back to our Q&A session. So in the meantime, Peter joined us as well, and Thomas is with us. So are you ready for the Q&A session?
Yes.
Very good. So we have already some in the pipeline here, and I would like to start with the first one, which is, why are we not investing more towards ammonia as a fuel? As it requires resources, we have a lot of water, requires minimal engine modification, and it burns without contribution towards greenhouse gas. Is this one of the most suitable alternative fuel?
I can have a.
Would you like to take this?
Yeah, I can have a go at that. I think fundamentally, the industry, the shipping industry, is considering ammonia as a fuel, and I think from a physics perspective, I mean, it's something that you need to take serious. You cannot dismiss ammonia. It is true what the question says here, that yes, ammonia can be produced anywhere in the world as long as you have renewable electricity. I would though say that it's not a minimal engine modification we are talking about with ammonia. There is significant challenges with combustion of ammonia. A lot of research needs to be done by the engine builders in order to do that. And there is the safety element where obviously as a ship owner, that's the cardinal point for us. I mean, we really need to do our homework to ensure the safety of our crews when burning ammonia. But yes, ammonia is in the future fuel mix, in our opinion, but it needs to be handled in a professional and safe way.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Peter, would you like to add something from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, ammonia is quite interesting. The energy density is quite interesting, but as Thomas said, it is toxic, and therefore there are big challenges. But from the engine side, we believe there are also quite big challenges. So it is not just using a normal diesel engine and put in ammonia. So this is something which needs a lot of development and needs some years.
Thank you for that. So let's stay a second on fuels. The next question is also going in the direction of fuels. So do you consider methanol as CO2 free? Thomas, would you like to start?
Yes, I can have a go at that one. I would say that there is a pathway to CO2-free methanol, but the ingredients required, and that goes for all future fuels. Of course, you need hydrogen produced by renewable energy. That's sort of the red connecting line through everything here is the hydrogen. Then, of course, it's the carrier that we are concerned about when we talk about methanol, because the carrier is still carbon. And therefore, in order to produce CO2 neutral methanol, we need access to a recycled carbon source. That can be provided by carbon capture. So if you have biofuel plants that are burning already now bio material, they will produce CO2. And that can be captured off the chimney from those power plants. There are also indications that direct air capture is maturing, but with direct air capture, it is still a challenge that the CO2 concentration in the air is actually quite low. We are around 410 parts per million, CO2 concentration. So there's a lot of surface area needed to do direct air capture efficiently. So that's a little bit the challenge there, where it's easier to capture the CO2 in a chimney after a combustion process. So it can be produced in a CO2 responsible way, methanol, definitely.
Thank you. So Peter, can you tell us a little bit about the activities which we are running at Rolls-Royce Power Systems regarding methanol?
Yeah, for sure. We do have several activities. One is for a methanol combustion engine. So we are in a pre-development phase there, investigating the technology, doing single cylinder tests, which are actually quite positive. So we can reach an high power density. We can reach low emissions. So therefore, this is quite an very positive, quite positive results are there. On the other hand, we doing quite a lot work in the fuel cell, and therefore methanol can be also used while reforming. So with a methanol reformer, we need to then produce or make pure hydrogen. This is a challenge for sure. Not the reforming itself, but the purification is a challenge. But we are investigating that, and we'll see. Hopefully within a short time, first results.
Thank you very much, Peter. So another question to you, Thomas. There is the question from, let's say, the perspective of the whole, let's say, market of tax here. What are your main competitors doing right now regarding the future strategies? Are they all on the same track, or how do you see the development in the whole market there?
I'll try and answer the best I can here, and by saying that, not necessarily commenting directly on the main competitors, but more from a market perspective. And we do see an uptake in green solutions. We see more and more hybrid vessels being offered to clients, and we do see research projects also, even on ammonia fueled tugboats. So there is a lot of good ideas coming out in the industry, and I can say as a company we really welcome that. I mean, we see it as a common sort of task here to develop this and to ensure that we have a portfolio of products to use in a net zero future. So we really welcome all the good thoughts and projects coming out in the industry. So I think competitors is not really the word we like to use here, because this is a challenge for us all as the human race on planet Earth, basically.
Tobias, you're muted.
Thank you very much. So as we're running out of time, I'd really like to have one question for you, Peter. It's regarding the study we have started already. So here the question is, how much fuel cell power is installed on the tug? How is prime mover power compared to the power reserve buffered in the battery? Maybe you can give us a short answer to this, please.
Okay, so this really depends on the application, on the operational profile. So there is not an answer or a general answer. But as we see for tugs, they usually have a very low load profile. So using most of the time just 20-30% of the power. Therefore, we believe that we can dimension the fuel cells much smaller than so means having just a third or maybe the half of the power as we see with combustion engines today,
Mhm.
and cover the rest with batteries.
Thank you very much. So,
And to complement Peter there, I mean, that allows us also to run the fuel cells at a better window performance-wise and get a good fuel consumption performance out of the fuel cell.
All right, so thank you very much. We have lots of more questions here in the pipeline, but we really need to stop because as our time is already over. So I really like to thank you, Thomas and Peter, for having you here in the question session, and also like to thank the audience for the interest. And I wish you a, let's say, successful, interesting summit. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.